Technical
We have
difficulties.
the combination.
Move over that ass too fast.
The moves.
Nice. Still rocking the advantage. Inspiration. And sand.
It's our birthday. Our birthday inspiration.
I've been inspired since the beginning. I think I earned it because I did not have any spells.
The beginning.
Yeah, but you never run out of sword slots. You can always cast sword.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna get a new one. They're not too expensive.
When everyone was spending 30 minutes picking their spells, just like, I'm going with my sword.
So, what was going on?
You were talking about
we were
different
walking
areas
back.
where the walls had been attacked.
Ah, yes.
Yes. Let's see that.
Let me check. Yeah, so I mean, it was pretty much all over. But you all were fighting here. You can see your tiny arrow right there. And it looked like they retreated over past this wall. And past that wall is kind of strategically placed, not too far from the river. I would say it looked like it was either around the river, like they were camped alongside of it, or possibly just past of it. But east of the Goldenfields, on this sort of spread of green between the Forlorn Hills and actual Goldenfields walls, is where the force that you fought retreated to. You haven't really spoken with anyone else about their experiences, but clearly there were numerous sort of fires and things like that, campfires probably, coming up through some of the sparse trees in that direction. It's the morning after. You all just met this weird turtle character who was there along with like all the other debris from the giants. Clearly not his native habitat. And San, you had gone off. You were inspecting the bodies of all of the goblinoids.
Yeah, and carving up
in the
some-
first encounter.
Carving up a bunch of meat for the
He's
griffins.
harvesting meat for the griffins.
Wow, that is some disgusting work.
I have a cleaning spell. I can just.
Okay. Okay.
That is some sadistic work.
Oh, we don't want to feed
How
them
much?
giant.
How much meat are you cutting up?
You
You don't want to feed them giant?
Well, no, we got
Get a
them from a
taste
giant.
for it?
We don't want to like bring him back to Zephyros and have him looking at him like he's a snack.
You're smart enough to know that there is a world of difference between hill giants and cloud giants. Zephyros, along with descriptions of hill giants or cloud giants in general, was very like perfumed, well dressed, much taller and thinner. Hill giants are just these like shorter, large, like just disgusting, like covered in mud, their own filth.
But I mean, still, just as a courtesy, and because I kind of want to train him.
It's a fair thought.
So.
So,
It's a
like,
fair thought.
The rednecks.
Plus, I've already done. I already wrote down 20 pounds.
Yeah.
We did it last
Yeah.
session. So.
Appalachian.
Yeah. I mean, many giants consider themselves to be completely different species, although everyone lumps them all together. And they were a part of this
Giant elitist.
giant political faction called the Ordnate.
True.
Wait, was that an adjective?
But yeah. So I had
Giant. Never mind.
Alright, Mr. Turtle.
Alright.
We're all tired, so
You're
we're
all
gonna
right.
go.
yeah, I assume at some
Wait.
point.
None of you got a good night's sleep.
Oh, not yet?
You didn't even get your full meditation.
No, I am.
Rough.
Let's go back.
It is now.
Get some sleep.
It is now probably. Let's just say 6 a.m. It's about 6 a.m. Yeah.
I go take a nap for.
Sounds like nap time.
Okay.
Let's have a nice brunch.
Yeah. As I said before, you can tell like the guards have got it. Like they've sort of doubled patrols. Some of the other druid workers here appear to be everyone's sort of pulling together. There are numerous casualties as different bodies are sort of being brought and like kind of just lined up in the field where you saw people kind of having like that midday almost picnic, which was right next to the abbey. So they're just sort of laying bodies out around there. Miros has kind of gone back in. He's putting like a pot of coffee on the stove. But you know, your rooms are still available. A lot of other people look like they're kind of going back to bed.
Alright, Mr. Total, do you sleep in a bed?
No, I'm good. Gotta sleep in my shell.
Yeah. Okay.
My home is on my back.
You can just sleep in one of our rooms then.
No, I'm good out here.
Oh.
I'm good.
Curl up in front of the hearth.
Yeah, I'm all good. Thanks.
I got a meat for the griffins. If anyone wants some.
Where did you
Alright,
leave
yeah.
them?
I'm actually gonna
I
go
left
help
mine in
out
my
with the Bonnie collecting.
Ah, okay.
It's like,
That's
oh,
true. You've been in your shell
need a
all
hand?
night. You're fine.
Oh,
You've
jeez.
been sleeping as
Oh,
much as
Jesus,
haven't you?
Oh,
So you're all going back to your rooms?
Yes.
Yeah.
we will
Okay.
sleep.
You go up and Stan, you notice your door's open.
Oh shit.
Dun, dun, dun.
And you notice the door to Flint's room is also open.
No,
But
mother-
as you're looking around, you see that two of the griffins, both of yours, are in Flint's room together, kind of snuggled up on the floor.
Oh.
Are they brothers and sisters or something?
So you can give her a thing one.
I hope so.
Well, they're just babies. They shouldn't be doing anything too untoward
Well,
yet. I
it's
hope.
still.
No, they looked scared and snuggly.
Oh, probably all the noise.
Like fireworks going off.
Uh-huh.
I like Temp Ruffalo back in my room with some of the meat
My
I got.
griffin is manly and was not afraid.
Your griffin just couldn't figure out the door.
Your griffin.
But they scratch the door to shit, right?
You open the door and your griffins just sit there like staring at it, proud, chest out,
Good job, buddy.
looking
Good
perplexed.
Oh, poor Ruffalo.
It was banging its head against the door all night.
You see little beak scratch marks along the base of the door.
Good boy. Good boy.
Come here, buddy.
Some people are anti-establishment, they're just anti-doors.
Oh yeah. So we'll sleep it off and then wake up,
Okay.
get our full rest,
All right.
get some food.
Yep.
We should make some new friends. See if anyone else wants to come and help us raid this canyon. Maybe that woman with the electricity powers. Maybe
I have
Daryl
electricity
did not very
powers.
much.
Electricity powers.
I thought she had. I thought she was crackling.
I can do that too.
Next scene is definitely an older wizardess. Wizard, sorceress,
Yeah,
wizard.
see? She could help if she wanted, maybe.
I think she said she was like stationed here.
She is indeed stationed here.
Well, she looks elderly though.
She is. She's got like this luxurious private apartment above the stables. That's actually in a detached building from the
Wow.
But yeah, you can tell that she kind of has. She's kind of got like the sleeves of her fancy gown or whatever this wardrobe is, her robes, kind of like rolled and curled up, and she was out there literally getting her hands dirty, casting spells and helping to fight off some of these creatures.
Yeah, they probably need her here in case.
You kind of come back and you see her just putting her sleeves back down, putting her glasses back on. She's got this very proper, and like you see her talking to Miros, who opens the bar up, and she walks back there, and you see her just washing her hands off and kind of very properly drying them and fixing her gown, her
Miro's
robes.
staring at her a little bit too long.
Yeah, Miros giving her a little bit too glare. You do remember Miros seemed to have a little bit of a thing for her. Was making advances and sending free food and drinks to her table.
Oh my.
But you see her just almost completely ignoring him, other than the moment where he let her back into the kitchen area, and she just drifts right back out the door and heads back towards the apartment above the stables.
She's just not that easy.
It's a lady at the.
Somebody hug him.
Yeah, she was this older wizard that you guys had been speaking
Good.
with. Almost appeared like nobility. And I think you got out of her that she was like stationed there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get it out of her. She was chatting with someone while I was like. listening.
Okay. You were eavesdropping.
Yeah.
Understood.
She was talking near where I happened to be dancing.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's sort of stationed here on behalf of one of these major cities, the city of Waterdeep, because they have a very, very large vested interest
Okay. She's
in
not coming with us.
It's where the food comes
in
from.
the safekeeping of their
You
food.
should ask her if they're going to be sending help.
Well,
Yes,
at this point in time, everyone other than like a couple people who are sitting around the bar appears to be sort of drifting and wandering off back to their beds, whether it's in this inn or back in one of like the many little houses that sort of make up that semicircle.
Oh, is this the end where we're all staying? Or
Yeah.
where you're staying?
Yeah.
I'm going to go in, pop in my shell right in front of the fire. Snuggle up.
Okay. A couple
Let
of
people sit down.
a few of you notice Miro's kind of like making this strange glare towards the shell that's just sort of laying and sort of rattling to a stillness in front of his fireplace.
Hello, Miros, my hairy friend.
What is that?
That's a turtle, not a turtle. A turtle.
You can call me Artie.
Is
Peeks
this
out.
your head peeking out?
Yeah.
We found him
Thanks
amongst
for letting me stay
the
here.
giants. He was just there in their
The
bag.
giants threw me like a giant stone.
They thought it was a rock. I guess they threw him at the wall.
He kind of like clicks his head and says, "Hey, fine, you could stay for the day."
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
He's
That's
gonna
a lot
join,
less generous
he's gonna
all of a
join us in
sudden.
a quest to hunt
Yeah,
down
he's gonna help us
the
get
remaining
rid of the
giants.
giants.
He's with you.
I mean, now he is.
Yeah, we just met him.
Well,
Is Miro
trial basis.
I mean,
Try-
just
try
because
basis.
I'm a turtle doesn't mean you have to, be rude about it. It's,
He seems very friendly. And all of his friends might be dead. So
You can tell Miros.
Sorry, what?
Miros is a little bit on edge from the attack, the invasion,
that's fair. That's fair.
possibly the group of goblinoids that were just fought and killed right adjacent to his.
I can assure you, Miros, he's far too stupid to be
I,
Hey, hey.
he's
of
friendly.
any danger.
It's just a kid.
Yeah,
He kind of nods and goes back and
Plus level
stirs
four.
the pot of coffee
Okay.
brewing. Says, fine. It's been an interesting morning. Let's all just get some rest or some coffee.
I agree. Thank you. And then I go to bed.
Okay. He goes back to preparing some of his morning items and cleaning some of his mugs.
Yeah, bath and bed. That's what
Alright. Is anybody not going and getting and finishing their full proper rest? Okay, great. You all do that. If you need to change anything in terms of your loadout for the next day, let me know. I think we're all probably square.
I think so.
Loadout.
Yeah, your spells if you You picking up a shield?
Well, we're going
Yeah,
to the
picking up a
store.
shield.
Do you want a shield? Don't you have a two-headed axe?
We're going to go to the store.
Oh, need a
You have
shield.
swords.
Shield.
Oh. Okay. Alright, well you all get some rest. It's about lunchtime, I think, before most of you would wake up feeling fully rested and recovered from that middle of the night battle. Plus just the natural exhaustion from the past day or two. So it's about lunchtime. You come down.
Let's get lunch and decide what to
The
do.
place is starting to fill up. You can tell that a lot of people seem to be not missing, but just moving about town, checking in on one another. There's definitely like a sense of strong camaraderie between the people that live and work here for the most part. But yeah, a lot of them are starting to show up for lunch. Place is probably about half full.
I just want to let everyone know I got I picked up this chain shirt and I got something I want to try and make with it real quick. So I'll be up in my room working on it. I'm gonna go probably just hit up the shops and get any of the little supplies I needed and then start
Like a
working
good
on it.
time for some ale.
Take
Okay.
some food with you.
All right.
Oh yeah. Cool. Hopefully that won't take too long.
Okay. Roll a d6 for me.
A D6.
Yeah.
Roll a D6.
One.
Maybe one's a good.
Wow, those
Four.
are cool dice.
Okay. The rest of you are getting some lunch.
I'm
Yeah.
hungry.
Did you grab anything to go?
Oh yeah, probably just
Oh,
some,
whisper.
some bread and butter. And,
What do you
No
really
ale?
eat this
Huh?
for?
No ale?
Yeah.
probably not while I'm
All the
working.
good stuff.
All right. You can tell like when anyone's getting anything, Miros is like offering like a complimentary pint of Golden Gulp. So you would have had to fight him off from his offer.
Appreciate it, but I'm going to be working with my
All
hands
right.
and want my wits about me.
Patrick, ooh, do I get him
Get a
try?
slab of meat
Alright.
for
Oh god, this is fucking
Onyx here.
delicious. What is this?
Wait, how old are you?
Aren't you 12?
It's more like 15 human years. It's
It's
fine.
still. This one's a little too young.
It's so good.
Is that why you talk like that? You're in puberty?
Yeah, maybe.
There's definitely a childlike stupidity about him.
I'm so big.
He's a big baby.
All right. So you all see Sam grab some food, decline her pint of Golden Gulp.
I'll take it.
Oh, there you go.
I don't want it to go to waste.
And she
Fine,
sort
I'm
of
going to be busy.
she dashes off back towards her room. The rest of you are down inside the inn, at the in sort of the main dining hall bar area, the entry. What are you doing?
I need milk. And some cookies.
Santa Claus.
Miros
gonna have a fat
offers
paladin.
you a small glass of cow's milk and some baked biscuits. And he kind of makes a weird face. He's like, we've been offering free pints of Golden Gulp with every order. Kind of a weird pairing, but
I'll have his pint.
Milk. Yeah,
okay.
You can have mine.
Seafla and Flint rocking double pints.
Elves like to drink. Or we all like to drink.
I'll have some when I'm finished.
Maybe we should tell the abbot what we're gonna do, and bear the leaders, just because we must.
I say that's a good idea, Titus. Get on it. I drink one of my pints.
So you go tell him what's up.
Alright. I finished my meal, and then I'm gonna go tell him.
Okay.
Eat your
Shortly,
cookies and
you've kind of just naturally been woken up by the sounds of the lunch crowd.
I'm drinking one of the Golden Gulps.
Oh, okay.
And it's magical. really like it. I'm
And-
actually jotting down some notes
and-
about it.
I like to
At
think if
first-
he didn't wake up, like a few people thought he was like a poof or something in front of it and just sat in front of the fire on his bed.
I had to stand up.
At
knock 'em all
first,
down.
at first sip, you can almost tell like what everyone's been talking about how magical this Golden Gulp is. But then there's this putrid,
What?
awful sensation that washes over you as you take your second and third sips,
Uh-oh.
and you're like, "What in the
Oh,
fuck
God.
are these people? What are these people talking about?"
Oh, jeez.
It's not very clear to you because this tastes rancid,
What?
almost completely impure.
You guys really like this stuff?
It's delicious.
Huh?
Yeah.
You're trying to, both you and Cephala, like kind of take an argumentative stance as you can't fathom what this fucking weird turtle person is saying.
I can't believe you people drink
Maybe
this
turtles
stuff.
can't like taste the same way that other creatures can.
Maybe.
And you go into just full defensive mode as you just both throw back your first pints. And then as you start sipping your second pints, you both do like a spit take in your own ways.
I spit it out?
It tastes
I
rancid.
told you this was disgusting.
What the hell? This was different. Are you trying to poison? What the hell?
Wait, so this isn't normal?
You're both looking towards the innkeeper Miros, the Yeti, who has like this look of shock on his face as not just you two, but most of the patrons here
Oh.
are all looking at him as if something is incredibly wrong
with this ale?
the ale. Miros goes and turns and
What's going on here?
pours a mug for himself and takes a sip, spits, and throws the mug, smashing it on the wall. One of his finely crafted mugs.
Oh,
Nice
wow.
mugs.
Tainted ale!
That seems excessive.
What's wrong with the ale?
This is terrible.
Everyone's just spitting their ale out. And you notice like the little pools of spit up ale almost turn black and burn through
What
the
the
wooden
hell?
surfaces.
Oh, God.
No.
Oh my
Oh, I don't
God.
feel so
We
good.
had one good thing.
Sweet Christmas. drink something else. Wash your mouth out.
Oh shit, you guys
Something-
both threw down.
Something
You should probably throw
clearly
up.
bad has happened to
Got like
all of the ale.
Oh my god, we need to get the hell out of here.
Didn't you guys just gulp a couple down? Maybe
You
yeah.
gulped an entire pint by yourself. Oh god.
Yeah.
Maybe you should drink some of his milk.
What?
Wow. Both of you feel a little nauseous, but nothing too crazy.
Okay, I was having a good morning until. Never get a break. Do you have anything else? Something's wrong with this.
What's wrong with
He
the
points
ale?
to the milk that he just gave the paladin.
I do not want milk.
No. It's what's good.
Does body good?
What's
Wait, was that what the?
Is that why you
For
give
what,
this
'cause I
up
had
for
the water?
free? Because it tastes like garbage?
Because I had the water. Is that?
why?
I mean, everyone looks perplexed.
What does
Okay.
Mary
But-
say?
You got anything to say or no?
Let's
I
tap
have
another keg to see if it's all of them.
I'm not gonna have any
He kind of nods. Yeah, like let's see what the fuck's going on here.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
Oh, and that guy got freaked out by me? What's going on here?
Well, he was more not freaked out, but like
Irritated.
defensive.
What is this?
He you notice he goes and taps another keg,
No?
and it seems fine at first, frothy, healthy-looking ale. And he goes and takes a sip. Moment passes and he spits it out.
No!
Says this isn't right.
What gives?
Wait, can I use purified food and drink or the thing?
Oh.
I don't have. Can't.
Yeah, can you fix my ale?
We need a drink.
Purified
If
his
you have a lot of
keg.
spell slots, everyone's gonna be wanting you to.
No, he just has to do one keg at a time.
Do a keg, go to sleep for a while, we'll wake you up. Do another keg.
We're gonna be leaving. Yeah, like, what does it taste like? What is this?
You have that spell?
Yeah.
Ready? Yeah. You can try it.
Okay. I actually
Purify
wrote it
this
down.
ale?
How does it work?
It is a ritual that you must conduct using vocal and somatic gestures.
Oh,
Whatever your prayers are.
that's fun.
And within 10 feet of you, you can pick. Let's see. All non-magical food and drink within a 5-foot radius center of the point of your choice and range is purified and rendered free of poison and disease.
What the hell?
All
That's really handy.
non-magical food and
Just a magical food.
Don't worry, Miros.
drink. No.
Maybe like a little liable
5-foot radius sphere, so you can like
Oh, hey.
Just go
pick a
in-
table.
Get all the kegs
Yeah, just
together.
Yeah.
Go to where all the kegs
Yeah,
are.
I'm gonna
Just
go. If you don't
Have them
mind.
put them all around you in a circle.
It's now holy
You
drink.
can go up to a keg.
If you don't mind, Miros, I'm gonna try some.
Just build an igloo
Magic.
of kegs around
Of this
town.
thing.
Okay, so you were on your way out after throwing back your milk and food,
But then
and
I
you
heard
heard all the spit takes and all of the sounds of retching, and
Ah,
you turn back and you kind of saw all this unfold. All right, so you go up to Miros and ask if you might
Yeah.
try something.
We're gonna try some holy paladin magic.
Okay.
If that's okay. Try and
this
fix
is an
this.
important matter.
He kind of shrugs and gestures you towards one of his kegs.
Okay. I go up to the keg
Yes,
and I
it's
touch it,
delicious.
close my eyes and bow my head and say, Torm, please bless this alcohol and fix it so that all these people can enjoy imbibing
Okay.
toxic poison. I don't understand why they drink it, but you know,
Yeah.
it makes them happy.
That's
Try
just
and
gonna
hold it
take
up.
some time.
Hold on.
Okay.
Lay down.
Oh man, I was looking for. There's a sort of slight radiant glow around the keg for but a moment.
2 cherubs.
Oh.
Don't do it again.
And he cautiously taps the keg, opens the spigot, and lets some of the gulp flow out. Takes a moment, and then finally he himself takes another sip.
Yeah.
Fucking by the gods!
Hooray!
Wait, could that by any chance tell us what went wrong with it though?
Yeah, can you tell from what you
I don't
Like,
think so.
what does it eliminate?
It was obviously poison somehow.
Poison and disease.
Ugh.
Well, it couldn't all be disease in separate kegs. You would assume.
You would assume.
Especially when it wasn't disease before, so it must have been poisoned.
Where is this good barrel? Who does this?
So who
Says,
poisoned
it
these
says
kegs?
we take grains from all of the stores in throughout Goldenfields, basically implying, kind of like what you saw before. Like there are just huge, massive above and underground stores
Yeah.
of all kinds of different like barley, grains, other foods, etc.
But you
Come
didn't
from a
change.
specific one?
You didn't change the keg since. It's not a different keg since before the attack, right?
No.
That we were drinking out of.
Mm-mm.
But everything we drank the night before was fine, right?
So it had to have been poisoned during the attack.
What?
Well, I mean, I bring fresh kegs in every morning from the brewery.
No.
Something's going on at the brewery. We should look into that.
That sounds like
Golden Gold Brewery is just north of the town here, alongside the water,
We take
which
the
they
tour?
use.
That's tranquil.
And you also know that there's an adjacent sort of tower behind the brewery, which is where the guards kind of have their guardhouse.
Do we want to look into this?
Conveniently
before we go?
located.
The angry guards?
I guess. I mean, ale is important.
Why don't we let Baird Old Peters handle this?
No. Too much responsibility.
It's too important.
Well, I'm gonna go out and talk to the abbot and Baird Old Peters anyway. I'll go mention this to them.
Alright.
Your efforts with your side project are proving to be a little frustrating and a little more, let's just say, time-consuming than you expected.
I'll take my time anyway to make sure I get it right.
You were kind of like, man, I just figured you could bang that out in about 2 hours. It's looking to be more like 4.
Ooh.
That's alright.
Take the time you need.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go talk to the abbot.
You're gonna go talk to the abbot?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going back towards this way. This
Going
is
for
the
a
abbot
morning
back
jog.
here.
Stay swole. I made myself a sandwich.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
What's on your sandwich?
You're down there.
Bacon, lettuce, and tomatoes.
ELT.
Classic.
ELT and a glass of milk.
Yeah. With cookies.
Oh.
It's called the Paladin Special.
I don't have the cookies.
Alright. Sand's up in a room. What's your intention with the abbot? You're
I
going
just want
towards...
to tell him our plans so that
Okay.
he knows. He's on the up and up what we're doing.
Alright. And the rest of you?
I'm gonna find me a mini shield.
Oh,
Okay.
are we going to the store?
I mean, there are some...
There are gems?
there's probably at least like one just sort of general store that
I don't know
has
what I even need. I just wanted to see.
your basics, some basic weapon armory, tools, maybe a healing potion or two. There are druids here.
Right.
Let's have a look. Is it
Okay.
on the way to the brewery?
So you guys gonna
That'd be
check out the
convenient.
brewery?
Are we?
Let's just say in the row houses here, there happens to be one just very small general store.
I mean, I can drink ale somewhere else.
But this is the best ale, right?
Is this the best?
Yeah.
I want to be able to come back to this, I suppose.
Priorities.
Somebody carry a keg.
Can you fit one in your shell?
We did that once before.
Maybe.
Whip your
It
shell.
is delicious. I'll give
Your
it a try.
shell was a cake. That'd be great.
It was delicious.
Try it again now that it's been purified.
Tie it to my back.
Yeah, how much can you carry?
It's pretty strong.
That'd make the walk a lot better.
Just to reckon, this is the brewery up here, and then you guys were here. Abby's down here.
Strength of 15.
That's it?
Your strength is
Okay.
15?
Yeah.
I thought it was 18. What's
No,
your
it's
18?
18
Dexterity.
Was, okay. The fastest turtle alive.
Yeah, so very, very small general store actually. I mean, they have some basic shields, nothing
Like
fancy.
dwarf size.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess I don't need that.
Alright.
No potions at all, but you do recall upon entering the town, there was this halfling, Savembra Tumbleleaf. She was
in front of something that had a sign of the Earth Mother's Bounty, which looked like it was primarily selling seeds and such. But she definitely struck you as the type who might dabble in like tinctures or potions or something. So if you were looking for potions, that's probably the only thing that comes to mind.
But she's on the completely other end, away from the brewery.
She's back.
She's all the way back at the gates you came in. She was right here in this row of buildings.
Well, he's got a horse.
I have a horse.
That's true. You're riding to the abbey. You approach and you see a lot of children sort of playing and climbing on Lifferlass, the big tree ant. And the two black bears that sort of roam through the grove in there are kind of like just stretching out as if they just had breakfast. Yeah. Kind of rolling and stretching in front of some trees.
It looks so peaceful.
The abbot looks like he's got a line of people just lined up waiting to talk to him.
Fair enough.
Wouldn't we have priority?
I don't know.
Cut to the front. That's not your style.
That is exactly his style.
You get the back of the line?
Patiently in line. I've got another sandwich.
You do that. Yeah, you're sitting there eating your
All
sandwich.
the people in front of
politely
you are holding doors.
Yeah, but on my horse. So I'm just sitting there.
You can notice a buffer zone forming in the lines of people in front and behind you. None of them wanting to get too close.
I look friendly.
Yeah, but no one wants to get kicked by a horse and made
Also
simple
leaving
the
a
rest
small
of their life.
I
Trail of
noticed
horse
this.
droppings behind him.
It's a magical horse.
So he doesn't poop?
Magical horse poop.
He poops rainbows.
Alright, you wait in line for a bit. You're working on your project. Artie, who are you with?
I am gonna go approach Yeti and ask him what he is and where he comes from.
Just making friends.
He loves small talk.
Yeah.
What kind of animal are you?
Yeah, I mean, what's the deal with all
Or
that
he just
hair?
I have to draw
What's
you.
the deal? Seinfeld turtle.
He goes on to say that he's like, yeah, you know, the Yeti. So I got the nickname back when I was working as part of this traveling carnival. They wanted to try to make some money off me, and they tried to pitch me as this intelligent, civilized Yeti that they had captured and brought forth into the civilized world of the Sword Coast. And so the name the Yeti kind of just stuck around ever since then. And this guy's just covered like head to toe in white hair, just like just amazing amounts of white chest hair sort of pluming forth from his button-up shirt. And you can tell that he's a happy person. He you know, other than being a little bit put off from the attacks, this guy loves, you know, running this inn here in this city of druids and other farming folk. He kind of like has this little line you hear him repeat all the time, but he sort of mutters, "Make fun of me all you like, but don't speak ill of my inn or my employees."
Wouldn't think of it.
He kind of like hesitantly like pats your shell and goes to pour you another golden gulp instinctively, and then he remembers that the keg he was pouring out of was one of the tainted ones, and he just throws that mug in the sink and gets you a clean one from the blessed keg of Titus.
It's a damn shame, I tell you.
Holy gulp.
Holy gulp.
Holy gulp. Big gulp. Wait, does that mean he's human?
I don't know.
I thought
He is human.
He's human, but just with a lot of hair.
to the
Okay.
brewery, but
Let's go to the brewery.
You and Flynn are going to the brewery?
alright, yeah. That seems like who would be it.
I got my shield now.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah, let's head to the brewery and see if
What's going on?
It's unlikely duo.
Yeah.
An elf and a dwarf.
I love it.
we're brought together by a common interest.
Forged. An alliance.
Yeah.
Buy beer.
No. An alliance
We
forged and
both don't like our ale messed with.
Okay. One second.
Might finally be able to use your brewmaster proficiency.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
As you get up near the brewery, this large building nestled between like trees that has like all of its output sort of coming in and out from the lake there. You can tell this isn't a place that like normally accommodates visitors. But a lot of the guards, also very, very concerned about their ale, appear to be like walking the perimeter, almost like a serial like crime show, like like investigating the scene, looking for clues, trying to get to the bottom of it. You could hear one of the guards kind of like rattle off about how he still had like an untapped keg, and maybe that was fine back at the guardhouse. But most of them seem pretty intent on trying to get to the bottom of whatever's wrong with the ale here in town.
Good.
You can see the doors are cast open to the brewery, but two of the guards kind of like stop you as you approach. So what are you doing here? What do you know about the ale situation?
Yeah, we just had some at the tavern and it tasted horrible.
We know that you
You
guys...
too?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
North Furrows?
Yeah.
Yep. We wanted to see if we could figure it out because this stuff was delicious. What is going on? We're not going to stand for this.
You can see some of like the "I'm not gonna let you fucking pass" attitude melt away a little bit at your shared concern of the ale. He's like, "Listen, none of my men are getting to the bottom of this. If you want to help out, by all means, you've got full run of the place."
Have you found out
Alright.
anything so far? Like,
Oh, no.
See anything
Oh,
tampered?
no.
Anything tampered with or opened or?
He said every store of barley, grain, whatever the fuck ingredients we use to make this stuff, all of it appears to be tainted and rotting. And no one seems to have noticed, or at least it hadn't visibly taken any effect until recently.
Yeah.
You can see there's like a big just bucket of grain that like appears to be almost entirely covered with this like black rot mold just draping off of it.
So if you're like a
You can
brewery-
smell it from the door.
If you're a brewmaster, can you tell anything about ingredients or
Yeah.
anything about
Tell me about beer.
what's happening
Yeah.
there?
Spout some lore.
Or, you know,
Like, this is clearly something.
It's expertise at work here.
It feels unnatural.
Yeah.
like, this
I'll
isn't,
just feed you lines.
This
Just keep
doesn't
ripping.
naturally
This
happen,
is
right?
definitely not natural what's happening to this grain. It shouldn't get like this quickly. And it shouldn't really impact the beer itself once it's been
Is there
brewed.
anything weird about like the temperature and the facility, or is the rest of the facility look okay?
You're kind of you're analyzing it all pretty strongly.
Yeah. Does
Um,
it smell everywhere, or just?
You're kind of like nodding as Flynn's sort of rattling off facts about brewing and hops and all the
Yeah.
special ingredients. And he's almost like, for a moment, he's almost become a bit more charismatic and likable. Like there's a ring of guards like
It's so
standing
weird.
around listening. One guy's like even like sort of jotting down notes. Another guy just starts running off to go look at like a different sort of source of grain that they have stored here in the brewery.
By
And
roasting
even
this
you,
grain, you can
like
develop
while you're
roast
taking in the
chocolate,
environment, like even
banana.
you, Cethla, feel almost like a kinship to him as you're sort of working on this little thing together.
Okay, this is your passion
Yeah.
project.
Bonding
Friendship
over
is
beer.
great.
Oh.
Beer.
Maybe you should do this when you're not fighting anymore. But what are we gonna do about this?
You're pondering, what are we going to do about this? When you notice that one of the guards next to Flynn, and Flynn himself, they both have like this almost black liquid kind of bleeding out of their nose.
Oh.
Is it in you? Are you feeling different? You got black liquor.
You kind of cough a little bit.
I was feeling a
No!
little nauseous.
Who has access to all this grain? Like, who makes
I'm
this?
I'm convinced.
Why don't you make an insight check?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Gaining some insight. How much? 8.
I mean, you definitely feel like there's a good chance. You don't know why or how, but you feel like, you know, it's a little too coincidental that there was this attack last night, and now there seems to be disease, rot, some sort of thing happening. And Flint and this other guard, even maybe a couple others, are starting to look unwell.
I think this is another attack. It's viral.
Flint,
How do you feel?
you thought you were feeling normal, but there's like waves of nausea kind of passing through you.
We need to get out of here.
In one of those moments where you don't feel sick to your stomach, you've got your wits about you. Why don't you also make an insight check?
15, 16.
16. There's that part of your brain, that tactical part that kicks in, like when your life's on the line, like when you're just pulling off these crazy, very skillful, very thoughtful maneuvers. You know, definitely a tactician side to you when you're on the ropes, and your body's on the ropes right now, and your mind starts performing similar maneuvers, and you're like, wait a minute, the beer, tracing it back from the beer. Coordinated attack by a bunch of stupid creatures in different parts of the city. Wait a minute, wasn't there a reason I punched that guard? I punched that guard because he was fucking useless, because there were numerous previous attacks not reported to the abbot by similar creatures and giants. This appears to be some sort of connected set of serial events that are only just now surfacing and showing themselves.
Oh shit.
This
all together.
is how we fix the beer. This is how we fix the beer.
Dun, dun. CSI D&D.
It all goes away as you start puking your brains out. But as you're staring into that pool of puke seeing, you know, the thought occurs to you that it's probably these previous attacks. They did something to the food stores within Goldenfields. The true point of the attack was probably not just to kill and steal people.
Poison everything.
Oh my god, they're gonna ruin all the fields.
Somebody should check the other big stores.
Titus, the murmuring that you hear in the line of people that you've been very patiently waiting through, and you can almost see you're probably about 3 people back from speaking with the abbot directly, who's got his helper.
Hang in there, buddy.
Li Zhang? I forget her name. Li Zhang, I think. But she's standing there taking notes, trying to calm the people. But the overwhelming chorus that you hear as neighbor whispers to neighbor is that, in fact, everything appears to be diseased and tainted. All of the food, most of the crops. You're looking at a potential full-scale, just fucking drought/food shortage. Not only for the people here, but all of the deliveries that they make daily to all of the neighboring cities.
How many things can you purify?
I mean, not that much.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. San, you start making pretty significant progress. You've got the whole thing pretty blocked out. You're kind of draping it around yourself, trying it on a little bit here and there. Seems like it's gonna work out.
All right, cool. Is it like ready or still just finishing touches?
You probably need like another half hour, 45
right.
minutes of finishing touches.
Yeah, once it's done, I'll go.
Where the straps are working, all that kind of stuff.
I'll go find Sethla.
Sethla, you noticed the guards are sort of helping, like putting a couple of the guys who seem sick, and they're carrying them off. One of them looks down and says, "Need help with your friend?" And you look up and you see the very charming face of Baradol Peters.
Oh, good. My favorite.
Yeah, let's call him in. I don't know what we're doing here. I really thought.
But you're okay.
Well, I didn't sniff it.
But you drank that whole.
You drank a pint.
I took a sip and spit it out.
You didn't drink
No.
that full first pint?
Okay.
Oh, I didn't.
I thought you both got 2 pints each.
Yeah.
I thought you both threw it back when you were there with Artie, who was
So I
going to
threw
try
it
it.
back and it was bad. I thought the first one was okay.
I mean, I don't think you noticed anything at first.
Drank it so fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why you don't chug your beers.
I have a great immune system.
Something is.
Oh, the elf just out constitutioned you.
I didn't get a chance to roll for Constitution.
I don't know what the
I think that might have been what the
Another clue.
D4 was. Or the D6.
When you threw up a bunch, doesn't that get it out of your system?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
I mean, he doesn't look like unconscious, but he doesn't look well.
I need some water.
Some crackers.
Well, you can cure people with your lame hands.
Shrug it
Did
off.
you have any of your own ale with you already, or do you drink it all?
I do have a flask on me.
Maybe that can purify some stuff.
Some hair and dog addiction.
Some dwarven spirits.
Yes, I'm
Is this
scared.
like a cure wound situation? If I can make you healthy.
I mean, you can try anything.
Well, how sick is he? I mean, is it just a little bit?
He is bleeding a strange black
Oh, you're
liquid
still bleeding.
From his nose.
Do you
From
have
his
lesser
nose.
restoration?
No. Never heard of that.
I think it's on the list, but I don't think you're prepared.
I don't know.
Barrel Peters looks like you got a haircut and a new set of guard armor.
Oh, look at it. He's all
Peters.
snazzy
Oh,
now.
nice.
Trying to look the part.
I just
Trimmed
want to
man.
drink some ale. God damn it. Fine, I'll help him.
I'm so glad we didn't kill you, Barrel Peters.
He kind of looks down and does this very graceful bow. It says, "I'm very glad you didn't kill me too, friend dwarf. What was your name again?"
Ouch. Ouch.
We never told him my name.
That's
Okay.
true, I never did give him my name.
You didn't.
It's Flint.
Flint. Well, allow me to help you and your elven goddess of a friend here.
Oh
And he
my.
kind of like winks.
Eyebrow.
Alright.
He's an old
What?
smoothie.
Can I take you back to your room? Do you wish to seek medical attention? How do you feel, Flint?
A little queasy, a little nosebleedy, but
Yeah.
I was gonna offer to buy you a drink this night on a thanks for the job promotion, but maybe we'll do that some other time.
postpone it until we
If you
figure
get
out.
mocked, then you don't need a spell. Are you fine?
I'll probably.
Oh, she's-
I'll probably be
He
fine.
kind of hefts you up and like he's holding you up a little bit, and kind of looks over at the other and says, "She's feisty too."
Don't be creepy, okay?
I think she's talking to you.
He's always creepy.
Kind of. Says we're calling over one of the druids who does a little bit of healing. We're gonna have them look at our men. If we learn anything, we could send them over.
Sounds good. This seems like a pretty big problem. It's gonna affect everyone like immediately.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of expertise in this area.
Mhm.
I know how to kill things.
Yeah.
Do you got
You know how to make things dead.
anyone who like deals with food and such?
It's a bunch of druids up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. He basically implies your best bet is to speak with the abbot.
Alright, let's go get
Get in
Lloyd.
line.
Can we
I'm
cut?
already in line. Yes.
Can we cut in with you?
Can we tell him what to say?
Well, there will be no budging.
What if we talk to you?
Titus,
Oh,
you're
shit.
you're probably like a minute away from having your place in line when there's something wrong with Flint, clearly, like the way he's sort of trying to lean on Seafla. Baradell Peters is kind of like dragging
They
him along.
appear.
Yeah, and they sort of appear, they're kind of like looking through the line, and
Can't miss the guy on the
then
horse.
they look up and see you on top of your horse.
Eating a
And
sandwich.
At the head of the line, yeah, just taking small bites of a sandwich.
I'm on my third BLT.
And there's some grumbling from some of the people, but like they all kind of back off as Flint like pukes, spits up a little, just a small amount, a little bit of this black vomit.
When did I have corn?
Artie, where did you run? Were you still at the bar talking?
I was talking to
about this?
Yeti.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you two roll up on the sidearm of Baradell Peters as they approach you at the front of the line.
Oh, Baradell Peters. Good day to you.
Ah, my friend, the knight.
He likes,
Flint,
he likes
are you
more
okay?
than
You're
Yeti's should be really worried.
Too many
The Yeti is
beers.
really worried. He's
Can't hold his
they're not
alcohol.
there, but the Yeti's currently going through all of his different stores of food, all the
Yeah,
kegs,
yeah.
trying to check it all. And there aren't many moments where he's not cursing or swearing.
Oh, that's not good.
See what's wrong with Flint? Why is he vomiting everywhere?
bleeding.
As I eat my sandwich.
All the
Black from his
grains
nose.
kind of tainted. He really took a good whiff, and now he's bleeding from his nose.
Are we there talking to that?
Yeah. Well, you're at the head of the line. Yeah.
So we are talking to Abbott now.
If you want, yeah.
We're like, Abbott!
Hey,
I forgot his name.
Okay.
Sir Abbott, good
Costello.
tidings to you.
Maybe we get to the point. 'cause
Yeah.
it gives a lot of time.
Yeah. Him and Lang. It's his assistant. She walks up. It's like just an acolyte, but clearly fairly close to the abbot. Says, "Are you here too about the food, the stores?
Well,
Numerous
Richard-
reports have been coming in all
That was
morning.
Definitely one of the things.
Between that and the druids we lost last night, some of the other farmers, it's been a busy morning."
I came here originally to say my friends and I were gonna go raid the camp to see what we can find out, but this food poisoning business seems to be kind of more of a big deal than I thought it would be. Do you have any of the tainted food here? I have a spell that can detect what is it? Detect poison.
Purify?
Or whatever. No, but there's one I was looking
Oh.
at that I also had. Detect poison or something or other. I lost it.
1 second.
You prepared that, but not your cures?
Let's just say I did.
He never prepares skewers.
No.
You can sense the presence and location
kinda
of
shocked you
poisons,
guys-
poisonous
it's usually
creatures,
all
and
slimes.
diseases within 30 feet of you for up to 10 minutes. Basically, you can just walk around and sort of
Poison.
sense,
Poison.
yeah, like a detector,
But then it also,
like a divining rod.
I can tell what kind of poison it is. So
Oh.
maybe that can.
Oh, wow.
That's
pretty good.
important.
And
From what I
you can
read.
also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Do
Fancy.
you have any of this poisonous, nasty weed with you?
You know,
We
it's,
could get
it's
some.
Z Lang says she'd be happy to get you permission to investigate one of the stores of food where like it's running rampant apparently, like this black mold almost.
currently
Perfect.
ravaging my body as we were speaking here.
Yeah, are you feeling worse?
Yeah, Flint's looking. Roll a d20 for me.
Oh.
Six.
Yeah.
Is this a con save?
Yeah, you puking.
If it's poison, he gets advantage.
Oh.
Woo!
Hey.
Oh.
Dwarfs!
It's actually. Go ahead and roll it.
7.
Hey.
Great.
Plus
right.
6 would be 13. But
Yeah. You're puking up black
All
spittle.
right, I'll
and
help you. Doesn't seem to be going away, and his puking's really getting nervous.
Just kidding.
Try to cure his wounds.
Shut up with the
Does it
puke.
work like that? What-
You can try.
1d8 plus 3.
Okay.
That's better pick. 7 plus 3, 10.
Okay. There is a soothing like wash of purifying magic that courses
Not
through
through
you, but you feel like it's not strong enough to fight off whatever's inside of your veins
No!
right
Lay on hands.
now. There's almost
Well,
like
that's healing as
like
well.
around
No,
his
no,
neck.
if you use more
you-
than 5.
You do
there's
feel like
poison.
you've stabilized.
No puke.
You're not puking anymore. You feel like you've
Alright.
stabilized, but there are like these deep black circles under his eyes and very faint, branching black veins up his neck that seem to have just stopped. But you look like everything. You just feel a bit winded,
yeah.
but you feel functional.
All right.
Are you ever gonna fight these giant?
You notice that there are other people in the Abbey who are showing similar signs.
How do I feel?
Ooh, okay, so yeah, John just told me that
I feel fine.
Yeah.
Heal people, yeah, I was just reading that too. I'm gonna get off my beautiful horsey and touch.
What do you say? It's a high horse?
Off
And then
your
if
high
I-
horse?
Yeah. Get off
What
my
are you trying to use?
I use my lay on hands. So it says if I use 5 hit points from my pool of healing, I can cure the target of 1 disease or neutralize 1 poison affecting it.
Boom.
All right, so Flint's
Thirty.
looking like you feel like in order to do this, you're gonna need him to strip down.
Oh. Get naked.
You gotta find like the source of this. Yeah, you know, if you really gotta get to the heart of it, the way your lay on hands works, and the way that
I'm
they taught
missing
you.
all the fun.
Jack,
I'm
do you
so
want to
sorry.
turn the light on? By the cat
Alright.
the cat feeder?
I have no shame, so I
The first was
I
switch.
undress.
First switch. There you go.
Ah, perfect. But I'm sorry, you're gonna have to like strip
I have
completely.
no shame, so I undress.
You can keep your underwear on though, that's okay.
Barrel Lord Peters is
Please
helping
do.
as best he can.
Thank you, Carol Peters.
And
Children, avert your
And
gaze.
now I'm gonna have to feel you up.
there are numerous people laying about in the Abbey. Continue, Doctor. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find where on your body this is happening. So it's all hairy and gross.
Yeah.
I bathe frequently.
Okay.
There's some discussion about whether or not he bathes as Titus is inspecting the patient.
I start
Oh my
with the
God.
base, go down, shoulders, arms, nothing. I feel nothing. On his chest, stomach.
Give me my job.
In the stomach
Uh-huh.
and around the neck, you feel like these solid lumps.
Ooh.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, and you almost
Your lymph
feel
nodes?
like the grayish black veins that are visible,
Nice.
almost like kind of like throb and shimmer when you
Serious
touch
shit.
this.
You're
That's
really
pretty gross,
sick.
Really
Okay,
gross.
so can I use my detect poison first? Maybe
You
that
may.
will help. Yeah.
Yeah.
To find out what this is.
Yeah.
So first I do some conjuring.
Okay.
Pray. And then I heal it.
Oh, it's a little cold in here.
It almost feels like this this dark taint.
Stop feeling his taint.
It's dark.
Let me look at the exact spell. You can tell.
That's why I don't want to see sandwich. I can't. I just felt like
Today will be a real remember.
It feels like it's some sort of tainted play on nature magic. It's definitely a disease. It seems to attack like the lymph nodes in and around the neck, and in most cases it appears like it started down in his guts from consuming or being exposed closely to, in this case, the beer, the ale. It doesn't appear to affect everyone. You kind of heard that Sifla and some of the other people here also had some food or drink that was believed to have been tainted, and they seem perfectly fine.
So I don't know exactly what it is. I just know it's poisonous.
I'm trying to figure out, like, I mean, what are your thoughts on, like, it says he can identify the kind of poison or
It says-
disease?
Yeah, you also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease.
Let me look at
I would think like for
Something.
poison it would be like, oh, this is nightshade, or oh, this
Right.
is mercury, or something like that.
There's so many different kinds of diseases, I'm just wondering how specific it would get.
oh, this is a magical.
Correct. It appears magical in nature. Let me check something real
I
quick.
assume it would be at least enough information to know how to treat it, I think, or at least if he himself doesn't know how to treat it, he would be able to explain it to someone. who
Diseases.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
Uh-oh, he found one he likes.
This appears to be not the same, but similar to a disease that you studied called
Diarsoma.
sight rot.
Sight.
Ugh.
If left uncured, this painful infection would cause bleeding from the eyes and eventually blind the victim.
Wow.
Anyone or any creature that would drink like any fluids tainted by this rot are likely going to have their constitution under attack and become infected. It would probably only take about a day of being left uncured or untended to before your vision would start to blur and start to worsen quite significantly.
I think he's fine.
You know that other than a magical sort of cure, there's a rare flower called Eye Bright, which grows in the heart of many forests.
Oh gosh.
Do we have any
Wait,
forest
I'm
people
here.
around?
Yeah, you're hearing this.
Yeah.
Um,
I knew about the forest.
What about that hippie lady at the front gate?
given
She
given
might
about
have
that's possible too. Given about an hour and someone proficient with the ways of herbalism, they could probably turn a dose of that flower into an
There's a lot of druids here.
Very
So
good.
we should build
Yeah.
Okay. I want to heal right now. My lay on hands.
Okay.
5 points. So now level 6.
How far away is the
So I
forest?
touch my taint.
You don't know. You'd have to do some investigating. You can feel some of like the throbbing start to subside.
You say some warmth is suffusing my taint.
It was in. I'm only touching your stomach and your throat. Not you.
The abbot and some of the others beg you to stay until your abilities are exhausted.
Yes,
Help
of
heal
course.
some of the
I'll heal
others.
as many as I can, and then I tell them that it's a sight rod. and
Okay.
I can use it to-
Yeah,
Eyebright?
you notice that they call for Savembra to meet to come and give her counsel on this. Try to determine if there are any areas you might find some nearby. If anyone would know the area, she would. That sort of thing. You pretty much wrap up your little business.
I assume it'd be pretty easy to track down where they've gone.
Yeah, definitely. On
hell
your
is
way down,
everyone throwing up?
you see Artie like in deep conversation, sketching and taking notes, just sitting at the bar, but no food or drink.
And I'll probably just ask Miros
Yeah.
like where everyone is, what happened.
Yeah, and there's a big commotion over at the Abbey. You know, saw some of your friends head that way with this new guard.
All right, I'll head that way, catch up with them, and get the download.
Okay.
How many sick people are here right now in the line?
I'm gonna follow
Probably
the
about
witch.
half a dozen right now.
Oh, that's perfect. I
The
can
morning's just started though.
He
I
can heal 6 people.
with my pool of health for now.
The abbot seems very excited at your offer. The woman, however, tries to pull you aside for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Zilang.
Zilang.
She introduces herself.
Hello, Zilan. I'm Titus.
Titus, thank you so much for helping in agreeing to stay. I wonder if we might speak in private for a moment before you start administering your.
Are we not speaking in private now?
She tries to like pull you further towards like one of the corners.
I call my horse over.
She says, "We should be practical about this, yes?"
Practical.
She kind of nods. You can only heal so many people with your God-given gifts
Before I need rest.
before you need to rest. Sure, we could heal the 6 people who are here now. She kind of heard you, like something. I probably heal about 6 more. But we don't know the total damages yet. She says some of the other key figures in town, people who might play an important role in keeping the very political structures and the defenses of Goldenfields in play.
Pragmatist.
We should perhaps hold off on
You're like
expending all of
shit
our gifts, and she's looking at you like wide-eyed. Later in the day when we know more, before using them all. I wish we could heal everyone, but the cold reality is we probably can't.
Do we not have the ability to make more of an antidote for more people?
That's just it, we don't know. And until we do, I suggest we hold off. Just tell them Tell them we need time to prepare the healing ritual. That was just a test you performed there in front of everyone.
I'm gonna stop you right there and just say no. I was granted these gifts to help people, not choose who to help people.
The needs of the many, Jay. Or Titus.
She kind of adjusts the fold in her robe and tightens the belt around and says, "Very well."
You picked the wrong person to speak pragmatism.
These people have families. They're but normal civilians who
She
keep
kinda-
this city running.
You kind of see her go off, and she's just like waiting there, like time for this. Let me know as soon as Savembra's here. She goes back to some quarters back there and just tells the abbot she'll be back.
Then I go up to heal.
You head off towards them.
Yeah, probably just got it.
Artie, are you joining? Are you staying at the inn?
No, I followed the witch.
Okay.
I'm talking to her the whole way. Tell me about dwarves.
What dwarves?
Yeah, dwarves. You're awfully small.
You look like a hobbit.
What size is
Get
it?
out.
You're awfully large. Tell me about turtles.
Well,
Have I ever heard of this race before?
You have.
Okay.
I mean, pretty rare that you find them among some of the more civilized cities of the Sword Coast.
Where did they come from?
Haven't heard of your type around these parts too
From the
often.
forest?
we're wanderers.
Well, let's wander.
Okay. By the time everyone comes together, Flint, you're feeling better. Titus, you've completely healed the 6 people that have lined up, only to see several more make their way to the front of the line and speaking with the abbot. There's kind of like a process now where he's sort of like half consoling, half giving advice, and then the third half is him sort of like gently shuffling people over to sit down and wait. And these appear to be more people who are showing signs of affliction.
It's triage
It's
time.
gonna be everyone.
We got some tough choices coming.
No.
Everyone who ate.
The rest of you who
I
are
take out my
on your
sword and
way,
ready to just-
the rest of you who are on your way,
I know
they
that.
they appear to be pulling out some of the food stores, some of the crops, and just piling them up and burning them.
Oh, I can purify those.
You'd be like a fucking needle in a drop in a bucket of a massive vat of water.
That's not good.
I can actually.
Again.
Actually, I'm checking on this. I might be able to help a bunch too. I mean,
Yeah, he's got
Needs
fireball.
both
keep
of us
some of
together.
He's
Well,
got-
yeah, I could help
Yeah,
that.
he's got
Burn it
fireball,
all.
so you just like.
All right, well you're thinking thoughts in your head as you ride along and see all of this, and eventually you all come together at the abbey.
All this stuff being
Wow,
destroyed
now
is
we're going
gonna.
out of town.
I would like to put my clothes back on.
The
I
whole,
assumed you already did.
Please.
the whole region's gonna have a famine
Please
if this
do.
keeps up.
Can I alter my preparations so that I can actually help with
Sure.
things?
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you heard things that were happening when you were in your room.
Alright. So yeah, I guess I'll wander up and
Fireball.
at least present what I've made.
Sand rolls up and you see her carrying like what appears to be this like draping piece of armor.
Does she have the cat with her?
I assume
Onyx
so.
with you?
Oh, yeah, Onyx is hanging
Okay.
out. Yeah, for sure. Oh, no.
I made him a thing.
Maybe I still had some snacks to give Onyx.
If not, I got work meat on it.
Alright. Oh, yeah, that's
You
true.
see a mixture of finely sort of woven and connected pieces of leather and chain. Is that it?
Yeah.
Um,
I got the chain from one of the hobgoblins, but I've cleaned it up and. No, it's not that one.
Oh.
Looks like Skeletor.
Okay, well there is something else
Ooh.
similar to that. Where is the other one?
That was the one.
What was Skeletor's
Is it in your book?
Yeah,
evil cat
My-
name?
that one.
Oh no.
Oh, is there another picture?
No, that's the one.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just pass it around then.
Okay. Basically that form, but it looks like that.
Covered in dark
Nice.
chain.
Yeah.
With,
Treated the chain so it's black, so it's not shiny or reflective or anything. And
Okay.
Ooh.
yeah.
Unless you had a spare unicorn amulet, that's not in there though.
No, I made that out of
I
gold.
have a
It was in the. It was in the.
Oh, okay.
I have a unicorn.
Panther.
Fair enough.
No, that was probably what took so long. It was just
Okay.
that was just a minor because gold is soft. You can just hang it.
Yeah.
up.
Alright, I'll work with that.
But that was just like the little flourish. It's like right in between the shoulder blades on there.
The dwarven witch happily presents you and Onyx with an interesting suit of armor to help protect your cat friend.
He spends a lot of time in this shit, and hopefully this will.
Yeah.
Tries to sneak in a few pets and
That would be
snuggles
cool.
from the
Yeah.
large black panther.
Badass.
Oh, look how tired I am. For tennis.
Yeah, I lined it with some fabric so the chain doesn't pull on the fur.
Deluxe.
Fabric's dark forest green.
Need a saddle for halflings.
Good.
So by what I calculated, that should bump his AC to 18.
Yeah, we'll double check during the week.
Okay.
It's basically like
I gotta fix and clean up all the sheets.
it's basically like chain shirt calculation plus he gets his ranger bonus.
Okay. Yeah, it's 15 right now.
Yeah. So it would be 15 with the chain shirt, just using the dex, but then he also gets the +3 for the
Bonus proficiency?
Yeah.
He's got bone proficiency in light armor.
Yep. It's not technically armor, it's barding.
I'll check other barding values for other animals. There's like horse barding and stuff.
You didn't make one for
So
Jack's horse.
He might just have it. I don't know. Does Jag summon
up-
his horse with barding?
it's up to you all. I was kind of keen on throwing this like documentary on and leaving us at a decide what you're gonna do moment that's pretty much coming up right now.
Yeah, we can end it here.
Which would
If this
do
is a
that,
good
and that would be like a
checkpoint.
good checkpoint for like a super prepped leave the city to do something next time on.
Well, I mean, if we
Mm-hmm.
can get at least enough, some food that, just
Yeah.
so they have some supplies.
So I mean,
can
based
actually-
off your instincts and some of the other magic users of this town, you can quickly tell that probably about from what you're hearing from the abbot, about 85% of the food stores, which is quite a fucking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And possibly even
Wow.
the main lake that feeds most of this have all been tainted and diseased with this almost magical affliction.
There's a trader in Goldenfields.
Well,
The,
there were attacks before.
Savember Tumbleleaf, who comes over, who's like sort of like a master herbalist, confirms Titus's deductions and says that that flower is known to grow in small groupings along some of the most ancient trees in the high forest
The high forest.
to the east of here.
Ah.
Her and another druid also confirmed that any word or news that they've gotten from that region has spoken of giants and ogres and other goblinoid camps very visibly all throughout the Forlorn Hills and attacking traders and travelers along the Iron Road. But more frightening than all of that is tales of the forest and even the Unicorn Run river that pours out of it having become haunted or dark. Savembra, examining some of the samples of rot that they have here, some of the plants, talks about it almost having like this dark magical taint about it. Alright, what's me to stop using the word taint? She grumbled. She says there's a good chance that these goblinoids and giants who attacked are part of this connection. It could also be something else entirely. We don't know. But there are similar rumors of strange parts of the high forest being corrupted and strange creatures that would normally be friendly, elves, centaurs, etc., attacking travelers along with other goblinoids and ogres. If you do wish to investigate the giants, perhaps you can look into this as well.
Perhaps this has something to do with our dream as well. Our dream of evil things. That's probably the only place. That is definitely the only place, the High Forest, to find this hybrid.
As far as she knows, yeah, the only place around here. She said all the reports that they got about the Ardeep Forest are that most of it has been corrupted, burned, razed, or infested by other giants.
Which forest?
Within the past week. Ardeep Forest to the south was the only other place that she could think of. The High Forest to the east is the place that she thinks with certainty you could find some of that
Does she
flower.
know a certain part of the High Forest? It's a big forest.
Like
She
the
says,
the flowers in the High
deep
Forest?
within the High Forest there are
Hybrid
these things called grandfather trees, which are these ancient trees and just rings of these flowers are supposed to grow around it.
And Sifla knows.
So yeah, I think we're gonna need to trust the elf on this one.
Yeah, I got that.
That's a long ways away.
She can find it.
It sounds
pretty
familiar to you.
We're not going to be able to get there and back in time to really make a difference with those, though.
Yeah, these people, if it kills them within a day, that's going to take us a
Well, no, they start to lose vision within a day. It doesn't kill them within a day.
So they just go blind.
Will the vision come back when they have to get treated? Or?
Sure.
Yes, they believe so.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. So we'll just have a blind city for a while.
Well, I mean, what's the area of a 5-foot radius? Like,
It's not that much.
One square.
5 foot, I mean, it's 10 feet across. I can do it 12 times.
You all would be able to help increase the number of food stores they have that aren't tainted, which will go a long way
Yeah, I mean,
to
just
keeping them alive and still being able to send something to some of the other cities who are depending on it.
I mean, if I take a rest, I can do it 12 times.
The abbot sort of discussing all of this with you.
So we can at least get a couple of like big stores just so people have something to live.
Says that is one course of action. Another, possibly more dangerous and direct course of action is to try to track down where these giants and their armies fled to. We don't know how big
we'll do
their
that,
numbers
I mean,
are.
I mean, we probably wouldn't be leaving right now if we
Alright,
did
let's
this.
split
We'd
the
like
party.
leave in the morning or something.
Yeah, no. He says, obviously time is of the essence, but we don't want anyone leaving unprepared. The roads are dangerous right now.
Right.
And we understand and appreciate anything you're willing to do to help us further.
we will increase the food stocks by healing and fixing them, the healing we can, and then we're off. We will go
I'm
find
gonna-
the cause of all this.
I'm going to explain my conspiracy theory that I had in the moment of lucidity while investigating the.
I mean, I have the map, and the map actually had like a line drawn down the river from
Right.
Tribor to Goldenfields. Does it seem like they may
From
this may
from all the way from
or from
Yartar,
Yartar,
right?
yeah. Does it seem like this
All
may have
through
come
here?
from the water supply, or is it?
They did find that the water supply was tainted in here.
Does that connect to the river then?
Well, I mean, ground river probably comes up from the river in the wells that they've dug.
Does that have them have
I mean, it's
storms
pretty
or-
hard to tell if it's just the water. It seems strange to them that like locked off, sealed food stores themselves also appear to be showing signs of the rot.
Yes, this is something that's been,
Yeah. Flint spouting off his conspiracy theory.
Yeah, there's a trainer in
Um,
Goldenfields.
They kind of go into deep discussion about that when they drag in Strog, the guard that you punched.
Yeah.
And they kind of ask him, is this true? How many other attacks were there? And on they go. Only to uncover that there have been 3 other attacks that were mostly unreported and sort of covered up by Strog and some of the other guards.
Does he seem like he's lying a little bit too?
He seems like he was more lazy and embarrassed than, filled with the deception or
He's not a bad guy.
He doesn't
he's
seem
just-
He seems just bad at his job and lazy and embarrassed about the fact that he failed to do his job.
He's far too inept to be the traitor.
Do we actually have a traitor? I mean, the poison is from these attackers, right?
Sorry? Oh, a traitor? No. I mean, going off of your conspiracy theory and the samples that they took, etc., they believe that these forces within the Giants, although everyone's a little perplexed about the intelligence level and the sort of organization behind it,
Yeah, there's someone helping them. We know that from
They
the gems.
they definitely believe that these strikes were going after the food, because on the previous attacks, the reason that it wasn't really like a widespread rumor is that no one was really killed or injured during the attacks. Like they were damaging the wall in an attempt to get into the city. So,
So we will fix the food. as
you
much as
all
we can.
you all spend a couple, maybe 2 to 3 days preparing, healing.
Oh, if we're doing 2 or 3 days, I can. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can do a bunch.
maybe 1 to 2 days. I mean, it's
Shouldn't spend too much time. We gotta go
the
find that
next,
flower.
the next day. That day.
Yeah, so I was thinking like
Okay.
I could burn
Okay.
everything I have.
I'm looking to you for the answer.
Yeah,
Give it
we
a
spend
day.
like.
I mean, at least burn everything I have today.
Okay.
Just go.
Me too.
Did you want to talk to Maxine?
Uh,
Is that something you need to roll for?
I could do that. Like take care of the food first, and then do that later in the
Okay,
afternoon.
sure. So you ask her about those things. The first spell, you ask her if she knows.
Sending.
Roll a percentage combo. So D10 and a D100. Yeah.
We have D100.
Well, it's like it goes 0, 20, 40. So you roll that with a D10, and then it's like 4, 54.
2.
You got a 2?
I got a 2.
2%.
Well, 0 and a 2.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Hopefully, low is good.
Oh, it's not good. She does not have the sending spell.
All right.
Or she does, but she doesn't want to tell you because you look silly.
Check any others?
Shit, that was the one I really wanted. Lehman's tiny hut.
Is that a 3rd level spell?
It's a 3rd level spell.
Yeah, do it again.
I think it's yeah. 69.
She knows that one.
Hey. Well, that's something.
Alright. Well, between helping with the healing, finishing the panther stuff, you also get some time into to study and learn that. So it's 150 gold out of your
Yeah.
materials that you would need to gather. and
Most of my gems.
Sponge.
Wow.
Cool. Alright, you all do that, and you make plans to what?
I think the next day. Oh, we should tell Berto Peters to commence an investigation to find out.
Okay.
Definitely.
Well, it sounds like they weren't. There was no help. It was just.
Was
it
there
was done by the attackers.
This was a
and it
little
wasn't
too
reported.
coordinated.
Look
I
into
think.
Yeah, it seems to get all this
Well, I mean,
stuff.
it doesn't seem like it was coordinated from within.
How could they,
Whoever,
how could they
whoever's-
poison everything all at once?
I don't
Like,
know.
Well, it sounds like the
Would anyone-
coordination wasn't from within. The coordination is by who? Because we found all these gems.
no, it happened because, the guard captain was inept.
Yeah, but I mean the coordination is external. Someone is telling these giants and these goblins where to attack.
But
Really?
nobody is
Are you
dying
gonna
or
trust those
anything.
giants and goblins to carry out your plan?
It
Well,
can't.
They are pretty stupid.
Well, yeah, but we found matching payment pouches on all of them. Someone with resources.
Do we even know those were payment pouches?
I mean, that's what they were described as. It
Yes. I mean, very like the underlings, like the hobgoblins, the goblins, even some of the ogres. They all had the same type of pouch
Very-
with the same type of very rough gems, like not finely cut in a shop or anything. Like
All
that.
right.
Like raw gems, basically.
It can't
just
hurt. to have
chop, like
Berto
broken into
Peters
chunks,
look into things.
pieces. Okay. All right. So,
And then we'll go to get.
how are you all on healing potions?
Are you coming with us? Or are you still sick? Or are you healed?
I healed them.
I'm healed
You
now.
healed
Yeah,
enough?
he feels
Okay.
good after you got
Yeah, I'm good. My taint is gone.
How are you all on healing potions and such? I know Marty.
I think we're out.
While you're all discussing this with Savembra, she says if you're going to be helping, she would give you a very fair rate on whatever healing potions she has. She even has a few potions of poison. Let me check.
That might be helpful.
Poison resistance.
Poison resistance. Let me check them.
I'm gonna drink all of them.
God damn it.
You don't need it.
I don't know who this guy is, but he's annoying me.
Shut up, little boy.
Well,
Join the club.
You'll get used to
Don't
something
speak to your
that-
elders that way. Pick up the turtle and
What?
throw
We
him out.
pick up the
Oh,
turtle.
please.
Throw him at the wall.
400 pounds.
That'd be
I
insane.
can pick up that.
400 pounds?
That's huge.
I don't
I don't think so. You only
What's the carrying capacity? Wait.
it's your strength score
Yeah.
times 15. So you're doing 19 times 15.
She says she has
Oh, I don't have 19.
they're old
Or 18
and
times 15.
she's
18
pretty sure they're still good. She kind of examines them all one after the other, but she hands you 5 potions of poison resistance.
Ooh, thank you.
And she has she's got about 4 potions of healing.
I'll take
She
the
can
lot.
sell to you.
Wait, what?
I'll take the lot.
Oh.
Are you paying out of your own pocket or out of party funds?
She does want money for the potion. She's giving you
Nobody wants to
the
buy them.
poison
Nah.
resistance as a thank you for undertaking.
How does
this.
the poison resistance work? Do we need to take it before we get poisoned or after we get poisoned?
Great question, she says.
Before.
She's swirling around the slightly green tinged colored
It's
liquid.
probably it's not an
When you
antidote, it's
drink
just
the
a
potion, you gain resistance to poison damage for about an hour. And it takes about an action to administer a potion. That means you would take about half damage from any poison that you come across.
Would have been good again. Oh, wait, I didn't know about that. Never mind.
The potions of healing, normally, she says that they'd sell for about 75 gold. She's offering to sell them for 50 gold each.
Whew.
Is that alright?
How much money do you guys have?
So
We're flush.
that'd be 200 gold for those 4 healing potions.
We're rich.
I don't have that on me. I just blew most of mine on Hit my gems.
Okay, who's got all
I
the
have
gold?
all the gold except
So I don't-
Sifa and
I've got my own
Flint's
gold.
own
That's a lot of
Sifa's got her own gold.
Because you only see 150 gold on your sheet.
You should
Really?
have more than that.
He's also got he's got 600 plus.
I was carrying.
We got the
kind of-
600 that we got
back.
in Fandlin, and then
Okay.
any other gold that party found.
We'll try to. You and I can try to look over inventory.
I mean,
before
most of
next
it
time.
you never told us. So.
I know.
Yeah, it wasn't really
There was-
specific.
Pretty much since Thunder
Like,
Tree
you
has
got
been,
a lot of
we'll
gold.
sort it out next session.
Yeah. Okay, we'll really sort it out. So.
He's been pooling it, but I've been keeping my own stash. and-
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just put
See-
minus
see-
200 GP on Titus for healing potions.
Stash,
Okay.
bro.
Okay. So with that sort of agreement, are you sort of combining the whole high forest giant investigation into one trip here?
Yeah.
Is that the plan?
Seems like it. We need
I
we
think
need to go by
priority
High Force
is the
anyway.
poison.
Okay. I mean, most of the reports are that the giants fled east and have been spotted all along the hills and the Iron Road. So
It seems like we want to go after the giants to see if we can find any of the halflings before they get hit.
Sure.
that's true.
Wait, sorry. Oh.
Any potential living halflings
And anything
might
we can
still
find out about the
be
giants.
alive among the
In
giants.
Forlorn Hills?
Well, you know that they attacked, from what you're hearing, down here near the Ardeek Forest. The ranger you just met is telling you that hill giants in particular like to enslave and keep many of their enemies alive for snacking
Right.
and other uses. So there is a little tinge of hope in your naive turtle brain that thinks they might still be alive. Yeah.
It's a very small turtle.
Other than that, the ones that you fought and attacked fled this way. So reports of giants all around here in this area, and belief that you might be able to find a cure in the flower over to the east.
So
past
we want to
them.
go through the Forlorn Hills to get to the
Well, I mean, you
Forest?
could
We're gonna
go.
walk
I wanna
past
track
them.
There's a
giants.
lot of ways you could go.
Whatever happens to the giants after that, we can at least head up to the road.
Okay.
Alright.
All right.
Alright, sure.
All right. We will pick up next time at the beginning of On the Road.
On the road.
Come on, roll again.
On the road.